How's it going, wedding filmmakers? Bobby here from Wedding Film School, and in this video I want to go over why the brand new Blackmagic 6K Pro camera is almost perfect for wedding filmmakers. Emphasis on the almost because it is not quite there. Let's dive in. Thanks for being here. If you like this content, we'd love to have you subscribe for more wedding filmmaking videos. And if you want to be the first to see gear reviews and tutorials, or if you want to be alerted when we go live for our weekly wedding film reviews, make sure you also click that notification bell. So the anticipation was real with the rumors of a new Blackmagic camera, and after the dust settled, we were left with the brand new 6K Pro. And I want to be upfront in saying this is still a very capable camera, and while I think a great creator can make a wedding film with much less, some of the most beautiful wedding films that I'm loving lately are being shot with Blackmagic cameras. The 6K Pro is appropriately named as it is a continuation of the original 6K, packing in a lot of added benefits with only a slight price increase. Let's look at some of the new features. The first one that really stands out is the new screen. This screen now flips out instead of being stuck in the same angle, making it much more usable in a variety of scenarios. And while it's not fully articulating, it is still a big upgrade. The next big upgrade is the addition of internal ND filters. Neutral density filters, this is a great standalone feature, but for weddings, specifically the ease of use of having internal ND filters can't be overlooked. And when you combine that with the run and gun, ever-changing environments of a wedding, these will help immensely. The new 6K Pro also makes the switch over to NPF batteries, which will give you better battery life and help alleviate what was a common complaint with the older models. And finally, it gives you an additional mini XLR input and the option to attach a top-mounted viewfinder to help you out in bright sun. All of that for an extra $500 is a steal, no doubt, but does that make the 6K Pro the perfect camera for weddings? Unfortunately, I think it falls short and aptly earns the title of almost perfect. Now, you can make great films with this camera, or any Blackmagic camera for that matter, and while these new features do improve the functionality for weddings, there are still some features the wedding community was really hoping for. The first is in-body image stabilization, or IBIS. You see this feature in most other current cameras being used in the wedding world, and it helps stabilize your footage a bit even when shooting handheld. Other cameras have varying degrees of IBIS, but this was a feature I was really hoping for in the 6K Pro. Yes, you can rig up a Blackmagic on a gimbal, but it's a bigger camera, and that's not a rig that I want to be on all day for many reasons. In a handheld rig, the Blackmagic works great, and you can opt to use lenses with IS to help make up for this, but had Blackmagic included IBIS in this camera, that would have been huge. The second big pitfall I see in the 6K Pro is still rolling with the complete lack of usable autofocus. For all intents and purposes, this does not have autofocus. And before you tear me apart, yes, in most scenarios you should be manually focusing, but there are times when autofocus is helpful. The lack of autofocus means I'm less likely to put this on a gimbal, less likely to leave this unmanned, and less likely to depend on it in some other scenarios. Lastly, while not as important overall necessarily, let's not forget that this is not a full frame camera if that is important to you. It is a bit of a bigger camera setup, especially when rigged up, and when used to its maximum potential, you will be dealing with some massive file sizes. Of course, as I said earlier, this is still an amazing camera, and some of the best wedding films are being created with the Blackmagic lineup. There are ways to get around all of these shortcomings, whether that is using lenses with image stabilization, using a rig that helps stabilize, using the Blackmagic camera as an A-cam and having another dedicated camera for gimbal work and tighter spaces, or finding the perfect balance between usable settings and file size. I fully expect to see some amazing films created with this camera in the near future, and I do truly believe this is almost the perfect camera for wedding filmmakers. As with any camera, it's important to know the limitations, but I'm excited to see the next announcement from Blackmagic as they are slowly working their way towards making the perfect camera for wedding filmmakers. Thanks for being here. If you like this content, we'd love to have you subscribed for more wedding filmmaking videos. And if you want to be the first to see gear reviews and tutorials, or if you want to be alerted when we go live for our weekly wedding film reviews, make sure you also click that notification bell. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you in the next video.